DeaconLive.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
I guess that's what it's for. Through good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. All right, you ready? Here we go. Yep. Yep. Here we go.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. Greg gets a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, I answer my wife's question about TikTok and why two planes in Orlando almost collided, and a woman has twins with two different men. And also, this week in Sharks. All this and much, much more we discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? I always want to check on you, see how you're doing out there, make sure you're getting along with everyone, and slowly getting into... Are we getting out of the hot months yet? We had a huge rainstorm here. Now, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Population 2,500 people, somewhere around there. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have chickens, cattle, dogs, goats, horses, and all the stuff that makes life somewhat enjoyable and somewhat palatable as far as being out here on this property and taking care of all this stuff. Now, we've had some bad rainstorms here, and with rainstorms comes mud here in the Charlotte area. North Carolina, the ground really doesn't drain that well, so you have to go out there with some mucking boots on and kind of move the animals around, and you're covered in mud and shit and all. I know, it's exciting. It's exciting. But what's exciting for me right now is I actually pulled the trigger, and I did it. My wife... couple years ago, bought me the PlayStation 4, and it was the greatest gift that, I won't say in a long time, but it was a nice present. I told her not to get it. Don't get it. She's like, you enjoy playing the PlayStation 3 so much. I want you to enjoy playing the PlayStation 4. I said, okay. So she gets it, and I'm like, damn it, she got it for me, but hooray, she got it for me. Had it for about 2 years, maybe 3 years, and had it in like you have a TV stand, your flat screen TVs, and then there's like the stand that's got the doors and stuff on it, and I had it in there, and I always had the doors open because I was in and out. Well, we had family that came over here in the last couple weeks or last couple months, my dad moving in and stuff, so I closed those doors, but the PlayStation ran in safe mode in the background, so sure enough, it got hot in there and fried the friggin' hard drive and melted everything. I mean, I couldn't physically see the melting, but it was melted. I mean, there's no way around it. I did the whole YouTube video on how to fix it and add the little washer to press down on the hard drive so the hard drive catches and spins. I did all that. I've done all that. I've gone through all that. So, I put it out the pasture, let the horses kick it around and all that. So I said, God, do I get a PlayStation 4, another one? Or do I run the risk of grabbing a PlayStation 5? And I grabbed, reading all the articles and everything, and, they're having a hard time making them. And then people that are getting them, they're like used for some reason. They're coming in like parts boxes. They're not, they're buying them offline. Who knows what you're going to get? They show up in these cardboard boxes where everything's like loose in the box. There's no like packing material or anything like that. And they're buying them from reputable sources, like buying them new from GameStop, which I wouldn't do in the first place because they're going belly under, and buying them from Walmart, buying them from Amazon. Amazon, you have to be invited to actually buy one, which was a weird instance as we were going through the internet trying to click on and figure out how to buy one, the best price and all that. And then they can go anywhere. I don't know if you guys know this or not. They can go anywhere from a basic one at $549. I think one controller and the game itself, all the way up to like $1,100, where it's got like 4 controllers, a camera, gloves, some kind of steering wheel. It's got a bunch of shit that I'm never going to use. I'm like, babe, just give me the basic one. But here's the thing. The PlayStation 5, some of them don't have the CD drive insert. And I still have PlayStation 4 games on a drive, like a hard disk, where you put it in, they load it and stuff. So that was the main thing. So that, if you want the hard drive on there or the disk drive on there, that's another $50. So I think the total price with the headphones was like $650. So I said, you know what? This will be the last one, because I don't hear about PlayStation 6 coming out. I don't hear anything about that. I don't hear about the new Xbox or any kind of PC game or anything like that. This is it. This is all the commercials. I've gotten the newest thing from the newest commercial. I've got it. So it's sitting at home. It showed up. No problem. Plugged it in. Oh, it's a weird feeling. You're sitting there. You're like, this thing's like $700. I know, big baller, right? And I'm sitting there and, signing in all of my stuff. And I sat there and played it. And you know what I played? All my old PlayStation 4 games. I'm like, well, this is about the same. She's like, well, how is it? I had it all set up. My wife's like, how does it feel? I'm like, it's the same thing. It's just a PlayStation 5. Now, I can tell a little bit more. The graphics are a little bit sharper. The transfer rate is a little bit faster. There's a little bit more detail that they've added to the PlayStation 4 game when it goes into the PlayStation 5. Like there were some extra, just the little details that I saw in it. I'm like, I don't remember this on the PlayStation 4. This is nice to have. And it's the same game I was playing for the last 3 years. So anyway, so I've got that. It's all plugged in and loaded and ready to go. So I'm good for now. If you want to friend me on your PlayStation network, email me anytime, Deacon at Prophet Radio, and I'll give you my tag, my screen ID, and you guys can, we can hang out and be friends. We can be PlayStation friends. All right. And speaking of being friends, my dog, Cookie Puss, she is a 12-year-old, just over 12-year-old English bulldog. She's white and fawn, the white color with the little fawn padding or pads on her. And she has been limping around. I know. Don't worry. It's going to be all right. She's been limping around. She's getting old. Her feet, if you know anything about bulldogs, they get like a yeast, almost like an athlete's foot, because they physically can't get in there and clean it themselves, just the way their bodies are designed, which is a horrible design for a dog, but they're so cute. They're so lovable. They're so personable too. So took the puppy into the vet and said, she needed her shot, she needed this, and updates on this and updates on that. Well, she's got arthritis and possibly a torn Achilles tendon in her knee. Well, 12 years old, we're not going to do surgery on her, so we'll give her like pain medication to have her be okay. But here's the thing is, she'll be fine. She's fine. She walks around the house, she gets up and down the steps, which we're going to have to help her do now as big fat dog going down five steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and ass over tea kettle on the end. But so we'll help her down. We're going to build her a ramp, and she's good. I mean, not that she's like on death's door. No, she's fine. She knows her name. She jumps up in the side by side. She likes to ride in the passenger seat as we drive around the property. She's good. She's in health. She's in good form. But the guy, here's what got me. So this doctor, it's one of those mass, because we live out here in the country, one of those mass veterinarian places, hospital type stuff. They got like 6 doors, and there's 3 doctors working at any given time, and they've got all these different helps and hands and stuff coming in and out, in and out, in and out. And it's kind of like the Star Trek, like the deck, the flight deck. Who the red shirt people and the blue shirt people and the yellow shirt people and on and on and on. That's the way their office is run. The blue shirt people are the receptionists. The gray shirt people are the actual assistants, and then the teal shirts or whatever are the actual doctor. So they got them all color coordinated so you don't ask the wrong person the wrong thing. So the doctor, new doctor I've never seen before. He's an older gentleman, but I've never seen him. He comes in and hey, how you doing? And yada yada yada, real personable with the dogs, and hi Poochie. You want to see him do that. Hi Poochie. Then we started talking about a couple things, and he started talking about, like I said, the Achilles tendon and Cookie Puss's knee. And he looked at me. Now, I'm a big guy. I told you this before. I get that a lot. Hey, big guy, what's going on, big guy? And one thing that has always plagued my life was, you play football? No, never played football. Really? Yeah. Surprising? No, I don't play football. I played basketball for many years. You play basketball? Oh, yeah. I was part of the Orlando 94 training team. You want pictures? I got them. You play basketball. Yes, I know. I'm a big guy. But back in my heyday, I'm 6'2", 220 pounds. I could push people around. And now I'm 6'1", and I don't know. What am I, 270, 280, somewhere around there? I'm a big guy. But for the most part, and I get that a lot. And he looked at me like, oh, football, the Achilles tendon in the knee and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of went, never mind. I'm not going to explain to him. Not going to explain to him at all that I've never played professional football. When I say professional or scholastic football, I never played Pop Warner, never played any of that stuff. I just didn't get to me. I played baseball a lot. And then through high school, I played basketball. And then, like I said, practice team for Orlando Magic. And that didn't go anywhere. So I didn't go into the NBA draft. So here I am talking to you about my dog going to the vet and its Achilles tendons in its knee. She'll be all right. We got some medicine for her, and all her shots and everything are updated, so she's good to go there. All right, guys, stick around. We got a big show to get into, and check your pockets right now for a 2004 quarter. Get as many as you can out, and later on in the program, I'll tell you if we've got something that's worth a lot of money. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well, and you can see us over at YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe over there. Make sure you share us as well, and you can see me wave at the cameras. Hi, guys. And you'll figure it out. I'll figure it out here soon. And anytime I talk about an article or stuff, I've got it right here on my monitor. You can see it on the screen. We can all recognize it, and we can all sit there and look at it and all be friends at the same time. And make sure you follow us on Facebook as well. I got banned from Facebook. Went into Facebook jail, I guess. I do another podcast called Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. It's all about equestrians, about horses and stuff. So if you're into that, check us out as well. It's a fun show. It's a 30-minute show. If you ever want to learn about the biomechanics of how a horse moves and why a horse moves and the best way to heal a horse and keep your horse in fit shape, go over there to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. I'm the host. I'm the simpleton. He is the professional. And we post some videos and stuff up there as well. But I was posting a lot of his stuff on social media. And I was clicking and pasting to all the different horse websites and Facebook pages. Well, I got flagged for doing excessive amount of what they call spamming. So I got flagged for 7 days. So I think I'm in my day number 5. I got 2 more days in jail, and then I'll be out there hanging out with the commoners such as yourself. Now, some of the commoners don't get a chance to go into space, but there are the select few that have come back to Earth, and they've actually run tests on them. They found out that what's the one guy who was living in the ISS space station for, I guess that's kind of counterproductive as the International Space Station, not the like an ATM machine. The M is already the machine. Anyways, he was in the International Space Station for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. And when they brought him back to Earth, they measured him, like his height, and he was like 3 inches taller. No gravity. You can grow as much as you want. And of course, Earth will knock you right back down the size on that one. Take you down a peg or two. Well, right now, when they examined decades-old blood samples from the 14 NASA astronauts who flew in the shuttle missions between 1998 and 2001, researchers have now found samples from all 14 astronauts show mutations in their DNA. Here we go, people. This is how X-Men starts. This is the origin. It might not happen now. It'd be 100 years or 200 years down the road. This is where it happened. Mark my words. Put this on another Voyager on a gold record and send it out to space. While these mutations are likely low enough, for now, not to represent serious threats to the astronauts' long-term health, researchers underline the importance of regular health screenings for astronauts, especially those who embark on longer missions to the moon and beyond in the upcoming year. So if they're going to start shooting people out there to, Mars, and how long does it take to get to Mars? A couple months, and then you land on Mars, you got some kind of mutation disease. That's what's going to happen. We're going to land on Mars, mutate, and then physically fly back to Earth and attack it and kill everyone on the planet. Everything will be good, right? We'll be long gone before that happens, right? Now, speaking of genetics and stuff, there are a lot of men out there that are, because of this whole, now, believe me, we don't get too political here. We don't get too doom and gloom and glory, or not doom and glory. We don't get too much of the political. We don't get too much of, the hard stuff. But there are a lot of people out there right now, because of the Roe versus Wade being turned over, that a lot of men out there are getting vasectomies. They're like going, nope, you can't trust a woman to, say that she's on the pill or even the old pull and pray type deal. There's too much risk and too much gamble there. So a lot of men right now are getting surgical, vasectomies. Some of it's reversible. So if you do it now, down the line, if you meet the one you love and you want to have kids, it is reversible. I think they undo the knot or something like that. Put a coupler on there, put the tubes back in there, put a shark bite. Not a shark bite. Yeah, those things you buy at Home Depot for your plumbing. Just push those two together. Get some CPVC going. Well, this doctor right here, a Texas-based urologist, performed a vasectomy during a power outage. Now, you ask yourself how he did that. Well, he must have had a backup generator. It's a doctor's office. They would have those all the time, right? Well, his backup generator was his, what is it? The Rivian, R-I-V-I-A-N, the R1T1 pickup. That's those electronic trucks that are out there now. You've seen them all over the place. Well, the doctor has one. And they lost power at the facility that he's working on. So he ran a drop cord out there and hooked up his all of his equipment and stuff. Dr. Christopher Yang was set to perform a vasectomy at his clinic in Austin when a power outage struck the area. So meanwhile, he's got his patients, shaved balls and everything up on the table, stirrups, I'm assuming, ready to go, and power down. Now, the guy on the table, you're not out. You're just numb, like an epidural or something. You're just numb. And so he's like, is this a sign that I shouldn't be doing this? No. Doctor's like, no. Like, what's the doctor from The Simpsons? Dr. Nick. All right, everybody, hold on tight. I'm going to plug in my vehicle. So he runs out there and plugs the snipper machine into his truck out there. Goes back inside, fires up his snipper machine, and then, had at it. He said his patients didn't want to reschedule the appointment because he was already scheduled for time off for work to recover. Oh, the guy who was getting a vasectomy at the time. So they came up with a solution, and that's when genius struck in, where he ran out there and plugged it into his SUV out there, or his new truck, the new electric truck out there. So that's what he did. Yeah, it's a good thing. As you guys know, our new truck came in, our Chevy Silverado 2500 series. Big truck. And it's got those things on it. Not the actual, because it's not electric, it's a gas power, but it does have like the 110 outlets and stuff. So if you fire at the truck, you can plug in, kind of like using a generator at the same time. So we've got that on our truck as well. Now, something that this woman wish she would have had was probably a power outage earlier on this one given day. Then she might not be in the mess that she's in right now. A Brazilian woman, 19 years old, gives birth to twins. All right, very good. But the twins have different fathers. And you're like, well, how does that happen? Well, I guess, according to this article, she had sex with two different men on the same day. So do we want to break that down? Did she have like a breakfast one and then a lunch one? Or was it like one of those drunken, hey, let's all three get together and all three have a good time type deal? So let's read on. The Brazilian woman who claimed to give birth to the twins with two different fathers after having sex with two men on the same day. It doesn't say when, just says same day. 24-hour period, I'm going to go with that. The anonymous 19-year-old, because they don't want to call her a whore, from Brazil, explained that she took paternity tests because she didn't she wanted to confirm who the father was. So, of course, she can go get a child support from him. She decided to get the test done after 8 months. She had doubts of actually who the father was. The 19-year-old collected DNA from one person, probably secretly, she thought was a father. But after two tests, the results only came back positive for one of the twins. She then remembered, Luigi's brother came in, her friend, because if it would brother, it would have been the same DNA. Then the article actually says she then remembered she had sex with a different man on the same day. Oh, adios mio. And then the second person took the test and showed that the second twin was the father, or the second guy was the father of the second twin. The phenomenon is actually, it can happen. The phenomenon is scientifically named heteroparental fecundation. There you go. Which translated means she was a whore. No, she wasn't a whore, but I mean, who knows? She might have had, a good relationship with both of them. Hey, let people be people, right? So her doctor said that it's possible to happen when two eggs from the same mother are fertilized by different men. These babies share the mother's genetic material, but they grow in different placentas. So that's no different than having, identical twins and then fraternal twins, that type. So that could happen. So this is actually what happened in her case. He emphasizes the case is extremely rare, 1 in a million in a situation, but did not think he would ever see the likes of it in his life. Well, everyone on that team, everyone should go play the lottery right now. All right, guys, when we come back, I'm going to dive into this guy that another guy who almost should play the lottery as well, because luck was on his side during this flight. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. It's always something. Always something. All right. Maybe we can try this again. Here we go. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. Everyone wants something for free, and we'd love to give you something for free as well. And the way you do that, you got to do me a favor. Go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the free swag section. Fill out that little form there. We'll send you out some magnets, some stickers, just to say thank you for listening to us and sharing us as well. And while you're over there, we'd like to hear from you. It's as simple as clicking on that little blue bar at the very bottom of the page that says Be Heard. Opens up a microphone on whatever device you're listening to us on and speak right into it. Speak clearly. And you can make up a name. I don't care what your name is. And just if you have any questions or anything, or if you just want to be on the air with us side by side, just do that. And we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. Now, this gentleman right here thought he was doing good by letting his dog drive. Now, when I hear that, people got mad at him for letting his dog drive. I see, think about that scene in, Groundhog Day, where he's like, don't drive angry, don't drive angry. Man gets arrested for letting his dog drive his car. This is another situation where you're recording yourself doing stupid stuff with your animals and posting it, or doing stupid stuff in general and posting it on the internet and getting busted. A 35-year-old man from the village of Central Israel was arrested after letting... Really? Israel? They're worried about a man letting his dog drive? Aren't they just like 2-lane roads out in the middle of the desert? If he flips over, what's he going to do? Disturb a sand dune? I'm just saying. A 35-year-old man from the village in Central Israel was arrested after letting his dog drive his car. According to the reports, the police say they became aware of his incident after a video of the man allowing his dog to drive hit social media in Israel. Is it social media if it's in Israel? In the video, you can see the vehicle moving down the streets of Israel with his dog on his lap and the paws on the steering wheel. Now, come on, we've all done this. Even with kids growing up, I've done it. Not with my kids. I don't have any kids, but me as a child, I remember sitting on my dad's lap or standing on my dad's lap and having my hands on the steering wheel as he's on the bottom of the steering wheel driving. You think you're driving, but you're not. He's driving. The driver's driving. So if you want to see this video, don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So let's see. Make sure that I'm still doing all the stuff that I should be doing. And here we go. Let's see. Here he is driving. You ready? Here we go. Let's turn it up so you can. Oh, he's working the windshield wipers? He's not driving. The dog is not driving. He's sitting in the guy's lap. If you think the dog is driving, and you're an idiot. And well, the people in Israel, for the most part, I mean, there's a reason why there's what is it, a 1,000-year war going on over there. No word on whether or not the dog will face charges for driving without a license. So there you go. You can see it on our video. You can see it on our YouTube channel. Make sure you go over there, like, subscribe, and do all that stuff as well. Now, ladies out there, where are my ladies at? I'm over here. I know it's intimidating to be on your own. Let's do it this way. I'll just make it plain and simple. I know it's intimidating for you to be alone, walking in the world, not in the world, like we're all against women. But I mean, there are certain times in your life, I know this, where, if you go to a parking garage, I mean, there's a reason why a lot of this stuff is based in movies where you go into a parking garage to get in your car and you're always looking over your shoulder and, blah, blah, blah. What's the one billionaire's daughter or something? The heiress to the billionaire's daughter was just jogging by herself, attacked and killed. You see it in the news all the time. Well, and for those of women out there that are trying to just get from point A to point B and trying to utilize, the old, what everyone else is allowed to do, the Lyft and the Uber. Well, right now, I mean, you also hear about stories about Uber driver, kidnaps and kills and the ball keeps on going. You never know what you're going to do or whose car you get into when you get in these type of situations. Well, there's a new app that's coming out right now. Here in the Charlotte area, a new ride-sharing service in Charlotte helps to protect women. Just Her Rideshare is a new app like Uber and Lyft where only women drivers can pick up women passengers. A new woman-only rideshare. Let's see, did you talk about it here? Is she talking about it? Let's see. All right, let me back up a little bit because they're going to talk about this in the article here. All right, so let me get into it. A new woman-only rideshare company here in Charlotte is looking to target more women drivers, more women riders and drivers. They shouldn't use the word target. that right there is a red flag in my sense. It's called Just Her Ride or Just Her Rideshare. Kimberly Evans, the founder of Just Her Rideshare, said that she started her rideshare app to provide safe and stress-free environment or an alternative for women. The company is based in Charlotte and started in 2020. So let's see what they got going on here at Just Her Rideshare. Let's see what they got going on.
Kimberly Evans, the founder of Just Her Rideshare, says she started Just Her Rideshare to provide a safe and stress-free alternative for women. The company based in Charlotte started in 2020. To really make the best experience for riders, Evans participated in a customer discovery program at UNC Charlotte. She determined most women felt uncomfortable with male drivers and ultimately preferred female drivers. This 2018 Alarms survey proves the same. 45% of women surveyed prefer female drivers who ride Lyft and Uber. 23% of women who ride Uber say they've had to report an uncomfortable encounter with an Uber driver. Lyft had smaller percentages, with 15% of women feeling uncomfortable overall. Evans says she is passionate about protecting women in the industry, which is why Just Her Rideshare was born. She tells WCNC Charlotte women, both passengers and drivers, should be able to choose who they want to transport them, as well as ride with them for a safe experience.
So there you go. You can check that out. It's a home base right in our own backyard here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and good for her. And I'm assuming it's going to, take up momentum and speed and then probably, partner up with Uber, where they'll have Uber, how they have Uber Black, Uber Excel, Uber whatever. They're going to have an Uber Femme or Uber, I don't know what they're going to call it, but they're going to adopt this into their plan as well. She's not looking to make money on just the app itself. She's looking to make money on sharing the concept to the other people as well. I'm sure hopefully she's got some kind of trademark or some kind of intellectual property on that app as well. Now, I know I keep picking my nose. Let me switch screens here. Let's see where we at. All right, this guy right here. In my very own backyard. I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida. Lived down there until about 2013, then moved up here to Charlotte, North Carolina with my wife. And here we are sitting on just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. But I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida. So I've seen the international airport transform from just a regular airport where it was just like, you know, little puddle jumpers and stuff to the international airport that it is now. I mean, it's huge now. And this video right here shows two planes narrowly missing or narrowly escaping a midair collision in Florida. Just in case the whole experience of flying wasn't scary enough, here is an incident where it will chill you to the bone. All right, come on, Ryder. Let's get with it. A small jet almost collided with a passenger plane on August 17th in Orlando, Florida. The whole thing was caught on camera by the pilot of the smaller plane. It was flying by a Boeing 757, was taking off from the Orlando International Airport when nearby single-engine Cessna had to make some fast moves to avoid this situation. Now, I've got the video for this, and now's a great chance to go over to youtube.com and follow us and like us, and you can see this video in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So here you go.
This morning, the close call in midair. No. Take a look at this near-miss video, filmed from inside a single-engine Cessna, looking down at a Delta 757 taking off nearby. The Cessna's pilot, Malik Clark, took evasive action, avoiding a disaster.
I knew that this didn't look right, so immediately I turned right and I climbed as steeply as I could because the Boeing 757 from Delta has a much higher climb rate than the aircraft that I was flying.
It happened above Orlando International Airport last month.
Runway 36 left, cleared for takeoff. Remember 54 kilo, contact departure. What's the departure, 54 kilo?
Clark had just taken off nearby and says he was instructed to overfly the runway where the Delta flight was taking off. Both pilots saw each other.
Yeah, just fly over him. He'll get it.
4 kilo Orlando approach, Roger, and let's see, what heading did they give you?
090, we saw it. We saw the guy coming. So we just flew 150 now, but they gave us 090 up to 2,000.
If I hadn't done that evasive maneuver, it's quite likely there would have been a midair collision.
Now the FAA is investigating, but initial reports show the planes were closer than they should have been.
The two aircraft got as close as 500 feet vertically and 1,500 feet horizontally, which means way too close. And it was somebody's error to put them in the same part of the sky.
Delta is also investigating, saying nothing is more important than safety. This scare coming as airlines struggle with...
All right, yeah, so there you go. I mean, the video that you see there is the actual video of the pilot that you saw there in the Cessna, and he's literally like on top of the Delta 757, like flying just right under him. Like he could like take a balloon, not a balloon. He can't throw a balloon, stupid. Like take a rock and physically just tink it off one of the windows. That's how close it is. And if you want to see this video, make sure you like us over there on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share us as well. All right, guys, when we come back, did you find that quarter yet? I'm talking about that 25-cent piece from 2004. It might be worth a lot of money, especially if you got a bunch of them. I'll tell you all the details on that when we come back. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. How about that? Yes. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on social contacts, and I send a lot of people over to Prophet Radio because they're the flagship of our, actually they're the main hub of all where the podcasts come out of, and they play, well, what's available over at Prophet Radio. They play the trending songs that you hear out there on your news feed, in the movies and stuff like that. You're like, oh, I wonder where that song come from or what that song is. They played the latest trending songs and some of your old and some of your old classics as well. So if you just want like a radio station just to kind of relax and listen to without any of the loud DJs and all that stuff, and it just literally does not repeat all day long, check them out. That's prophetradio.com. Give them an hour. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. How about that? Now, someone that is, chances are, won't give you your money back is this gentleman right here. You want to talk about doing absolutely nothing and making money? A Japanese man known as the Rental Do Nothing Man with an enormous following on social media gets paid $71 an hour to accompany clients and simply exist as a companion. A 38-year-old man, I'm going to mess his name up because there's too many, in my mind, there's too many consonants, not enough vowels. Shoji Morimoto, nailed it, advertised himself as a person who can eat and drink and give us simple feedbacks, but do nothing more. Basically, I rent myself out. My job is to be wherever my clients want me to be and do nothing in particular. Morimoto said he handles more than 40,000 sessions in the past 4 years. At $70 an hour? Sure, why not? Morimoto, I'm going to mess this up. Morimoto, who has nearly 250,000 followers on Twitter, told the publication that he finds most of his clients on a microblogging platform, out of which he says almost a quarter of those repeat customers, including people who have hired him nearly 270 times. He says Morimoto shared that in his job, he has done a range of things from going to a park to play on a seesaw with a person to be beaming and waving through a train window to a complete stranger who wants to be sent it off. So if you're on the train, you're like, I just wave and smile and I'll be gone, you know. However, this doesn't mean that he'll do anything. According to Morimoto, he has turned down many offers, including one to move a fridge and another to go to Cambodia. Before finding his real potential, Morimoto worked as publishing company and was often rebuked for doing nothing. So he said, you know what, I'll put my skills to work. I'm going to go get a job and doing absolutely nothing and see if someone will pay me to do that as well. And there he is. He's making $71 an hour. He's got over 4,000 clients for the last 4 years, whatever it is. I guess, I mean, in Japan, they do weird stuff in Japan. They're so socially inept, and they are also just on the cutting edge of doing the weirdest shit out there. Now, get your quarters ready. What you are looking for is a 25-cent piece, a U.S. coin, 25-cent piece, made in 2004. Some of these quarters are worth in mint condition. No scratches, no snot on them, no nothing like that. Upwards of $2,000. Now you say, well, what makes this so special? Well, if you want to watch this video, this guy gives a total breakdown of actually what makes these quarters so special. So if you want to see this video, make sure you go over to Profit Radio for our podcast. We do have a matching video as well. And you can see this in real... Sorry, my phone was ringing. You can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So here we go. Turn this up.
For more than $2,000, and here's why. You are looking for a 2004 D Mint Mark quarter, and it's going to be the Wisconsin State quarter. You're going to look very closely at the corn, and yes, it has the juice, and we're going to look right below the leaf right here. This little speck right there is what you're looking for. They call that the high extra leaf. There it is. There's a better close-up. That extra leaf is an error, and that makes it worth more money. The record price for one of these is in Mint State 66 for over $2,500. On Monday nights at 10
So there you go. It's, I guess, if you look at the Wisconsin 2004 printed in D, which I think, I forget where D is. Is that Denver? Delaware. I think it's Delaware. You know, for those of you who don't know, if you look at a coin, there's 3 markings on it. There's 2 markings. If it doesn't have one, it's made, I believe, in Philadelphia. One is a D, one is another letter where it's made in another mint, and then the one without it, I believe, is made in Philadelphia. So you're looking for the one with the D stamp on it because they messed up a whole lot of the Wisconsin quarters in 2004. And if you have one in super duper mint condition, it's worth about $2,000 some odd to those who wants to buy it. Value to the buyer, right? Now, my wife asks me all the time. She's like, you're always on that TikTok. You're always on it. You're, switch cameras here. It's camera 1 so you can see me. Hi. Why do you watch that all the time? I said, because, you know, believe it or not, I get my news faster through TikTok than I do on any other news source. And I will sit there and I'm looking for that little hidden gem. I've said this before. I'm looking for that hidden gem. I'm looking for the story of what happened. I saw the Anne Heche thing probably a week before the news feed started pumping it out and started making the mainstream radio or mainstream TV or mainstream media in itself. And then I saw this right here. And the reason why this video caught my eye was because this was in Manhattan. And my wife was like, she could hear the volume of what was going on. She's like, Jesus Christ, what's going on in that video? And I showed her, I said, it's just an accident in Manhattan. Now, here's the actual video of what I saw. And then we'll dive into the depths behind this story. So here we go.
This happened in Manhattan.
So there's a black Mercedes pushing around like a Toyota RAV or something like that in Manhattan, and it pushed it up on the sidewalk. T-boned him, spun him around. This is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Passenger gets out. This is someone filming it from the side. Has a gun. Beats on the window. Goes to the driver's side of the vehicle. He just spun around. The gray, silver Toyota. Jumps in the Mercedes with a bag. Takes off. So that's the video that I showed her. And she's like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, I don't know what happened. Well, come to find out, this is actually what happened during that time. So I'm going to play this video so you can see it as well. So here we go. New York City thieves T-bone a SUV, steal $20,000 from a driver at gunpoint, and got away. So here's another angle of that video. If you want to see it, here we go. Different level. Bam! Pushing him up on the sidewalk. Got him again. I mean, they're hardcore, like stunt. It looked like a movie. Then he gets out of the car and does all that stuff and robs them and stuff. On Saturday in Manhattan, a wild car chase ensued and left onlookers in complete shock after media outlets all over the world buzzing about this with curiosity. An apparent robbery on-camera incident depicts a black Mercedes-Benz in a hot pursuit over a silver Toyota RAV4 around 5:30 p.m. As the cars speed down the road, they clear the intersection on East 92nd Street and 2nd Avenue. And then once again, for a few moments later, drive back, of course, and make a bus U-turn and stuff like I described before. From there, this is what happened. The passenger from the black Mercedes-Benz hopped out of the car, banged on the window of the opposing vehicle until he emerged from the vehicle just out of camera view with a bag of cash. And the gunpoint robbery resulted in a 55-year-old driver of the silver Toyota RAV yielding $20,000 to the armed suspect. So far, the suspects remain at large. No injuries were reported on the incident. So that is why I watch TikTok for these little on the scene, on whatever, and they don't know what they're watching. They don't know what they're filming. Like if you're on the sidewalk, you saw them, you're like, holy shit, is this a movie? Is this a car chase? What the hell is this? And you post it on your TikTok, and you're the first person on the scene. I don't know if you're familiar with, let me switch cameras here so you can see me screw all this other stuff. I don't know if you know what do they call them? Streakers? What do they call them? Hold on. Where they show up on site, film like an auto accident, and then sell those videos to like the news feed. Oh, there's a fire on 5th and Main, and so you go up and you film the thing. Strikers, I forget what they're called. You film it, and then you punch it on the computer. There was a whole, I think, reality TV series based on that, and you post those. And then news medias will buy it for, $500, $1,000, whatever. But we freely are posting stuff on TikTok on stuff that's happening and not knowing what's actually happening. And that's what's happening there. So there you go. That's what happened. $20,000 robbery. Oh, man. I mean, and to be part of that and then later on go, I mean, is that your 15 minutes of fame? I was part of that. I videotaped that. I did that. Well, how much did you get for it? I just posted on TikTok and they stole it from my TikTok account. All right, guys, when we come back, you ever wonder why your poop floats and sometimes it doesn't? Well, I'll dive into those details when we come back. I know. Riveting questions everyone wants to know. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd like to hear from you And the way you do that to be part of the show is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on that little blue bar. I believe it's on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. It says Be Heard. Opens up a microphone on your tablet. Access your microphone. Believe me, I got enough shit going on here, as you can tell. Literally, pardon the pun here, based on the next topic we're going to talk about. I just want to say I want to hear from you, and we'd like to say thank you for listening to us, and we'll send you out some magnets and some stickers and all that. You can put them on your fridge. You can put them on your kids' notebooks, all that stuff, just to say thank you for listening to us. Now, my movements in the morning are how can I say this without totally losing the other 10% of the audience that's still with us after that last story? I have a regular, let's do it this way. People should have a regular movement at least once every 24 hours. Let's do it that way. And there's a lot of different varieties based on what you're eating, what you're not eating, how your day is, how your day is not, what you've been, any diseases and stuff that you have. So the main question is, everyone can relate to this. Sometimes your poop floats, sometimes your poop doesn't. It's on the bottom of the tank. And you say to yourself, well, why does my poop float and why does it not on other senses? Could be a couple things. The most popular indication of your health is the occasional floater that shouldn't cause for concern right now. But if you notice your poop is floating all the time, this could be a series of several conditions. Your poop is basically made up of different material, undigested food, fats, water, dead cells, and bacteria, so on and so forth. Normally, it will sink to the bottom when it's denser, hence, float and all that stuff. Conversely, it'll float when it's less dense in the water, and it happens to be one of these main reasons. Your stool is high in gas, mostly from eating a lot of fiber. It's not to cause for concern. Fiber has many health benefits as far as like boosting heart and regulating blood and sugar. But if your poop floats consistently and your stool is high in fat, it could be other symptoms of conditions. Here are some of the main reasons why your poop might be high in fat or gases. Eat more fiber. Let's see. If you have intestinal gas, you might pass gas while you're pooping. I'm sorry. We're cutting down to the basics here. The gas is trapped inside your stool, causing it to float. Here's why. Eating more fiber than usual, bacteria gets in your large intestine, so on and so forth. Infections, gastrointestinal infections like Giardias and E. coli can cause an overgrowth of gut bacteria, which produces gas. Food intolerance. If you have a sensitivity to gluten or lactose, these foods can create extra gas as well. Irritable bowel syndromes as well could add more gas to your poop. Floating poop that are high in fat usually have oil floating around the surface of the toilet water. I know, but we need to learn these things. No one talks about it. I'm going to talk about it here on the show. Unusual stool colors such as pale yellow, white, or gray, especially a strong odor or foul. These are several key reasons why your stool might have more fat than usual. So these could lead to other things that you need to keep an eye on. Pancreatitis disease, intestinal disease, a previous bowel surgery or shortened the intestines, and infectious like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth or ISBO. So on and so forth. If you see, of course, bright red stool, if you see red blood in your stool consistent with a fatty stool, you should call your doctor right away because you are probably dying from the inside out. I'm just kidding. I just made that last part up. Your poops, if you're wondering what your poop should look like, because no one looks at anyone else's poop, they should be well-formed, meaning a solid shape, pass easily without straining, and the transition in a short time, meaning you don't spend more than 5 minutes on the toilet. And I like to take my time, make sure I get everything out for the day. However, if your stool shouldn't be solid, shouldn't be too solid, small ball-like stools are assumed to indicate constipation, or a sausage-like snake stools are considered normal. So there you go. There's a Bristol stool scale of the most common measures used in evaluating form of stool. So you have type 1 all the way to type 7. If your poop does not look like a healthy bowel movement category in the green, Oh, yeah, because they got type 1, type 2 are both in red. 3, 4, and 5 are in green, which means it's good. And 6 and 7 means there's a lot of stuff going on. You might need to see a gastrointestinal a poop guy. That's all I have to say. So that's the reason why your poop floats. I know it's kind of juvenile, but I mean, a lot of people don't know why your poop floats. Now, if I was on this cruise ship, my poop be floating all the time. I do not like getting in the water. When I say the water, ocean water. I've always had a fear of water my whole entire life. I can get in a pool, but I have to basically... I told my wife something about something else, but I need 3 points of contact. Either my feet on the ground and a hand on the wall, or 3 points of contact while I'm in a pool. I don't like to be out in the middle of the pool like treading water. I do not like that at all. I have to have some kind of contact with the surface, whether it be the bottom or the top, preferably the top. When I say the top, like the walls on the side. Well, being from Orlando, we have over on the East Coast, we have Port Canaveral. Now, Port Canaveral is a huge, they have a Navy base over there. NASA's over there. They run these ships in and out of the Jetty Park area over there. So those troughs run deep. I mean, those trenches run for, hundreds and hundreds of feet for these big ships to get through. Well, when you have hundreds and hundreds of feet of deep water underneath a vessel in a small little area, you also have big animals or big fish that come through there. A cruise ship passenger died after being attacked by a shark while snorkeling with her family in the Bahamas. So a cruise ship passenger from Pennsylvania died on Tuesday after being attacked by a shark while snorkeling with her family in the Bahamas, authorities say. The passenger, a mother in her 50s, was on board the Royal Caribbean ship Harmony of the Seas, was attacked in Green Cay, off the coast of Nassau, according to the Royal Caribbean. All right. While the cruise ship was docked in Nassau, the family booked an excursion with a local tour company that took them off into a popular snorkeling area. The family members then saw a shark attacking a woman and rushed to her aid. The mother had suffered bites on her upper extremities. Operators from the tour company and the family members were able to pull the woman onto the boat and rush her to the nearest dock, where paramedics responded and reported no vital signs of life. Oh my God, that thing must have gotten a hold of her. Royal Caribbean is providing support and assistance to the guests and loved ones during this difficult time. A statement of the cruise line said this past Sunday when this happened. Now, that's why I don't get in the water. That's why I do not like to go. You could say, it's the safest place in the world. No, it's not. No, it's not. You know why? Because this next story, this guy was just fishing on a kayak, all by himself, just fishing out there in California, and this happened. If you want to see this video, now's your chance to go over to YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us over there, and you can see this video in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So here we go. A kayaker angler, which means a fisherman. 3 people out there are like going, huh? Was out trying to catch bait off the coast of Central California this past July when something startled him. A giant great white shark nearly the size of his kayak. A big shark circled around the angler for several minutes. The angler who got... I'm shitting myself already. Poop, floating or not. Poop's going in the water. The angler, who goes by the moniker Fisherman's Chronicles, posted a video of this incredible close encounter with this apex predator on his YouTube channel. In the video, he can be heard calling out to his buddy to warn him of a shark, telling him, "It's freaking massive." Eh? No, it's Canada. When I spotted the shark, I initially was shocked, the gentleman said. The sun had just come out, so the water was still very, very dark blue. I was looking at the water, and all of a sudden I saw what looked like a huge gray submarine came underneath the kayak. When I saw the face and eyes and seeing the white underside, I instantly recognized it as a great white shark. So here he goes. Now, this guy, Fishing Chronicles, what's his name? Yeah, Fisherman Chronicles. He's got a GoPro camera on his head. He's got a thing on his pole while he's fishing. A camera on his pole, a small little bullet camera, and then he's got a camera on his kayak that's looking at him, looking at everyone else. And he takes the camera and actually dips it underneath the surface of the water and shows the shark swimming around. Now, when you think big white or great white, you think about Jaws. Those big, 12 foot longer. This guy's probably about 9 foot long, but still, he's in a kayak. You ever seen what the kayak looks like from up underneath the water? Looks like a small dolphin. And this shark's swimming around because they eat dolphin. So here's the video. We'll blow this up so we can all watch it and we can all be friends. So here he is, crapping his pants. Here we go.
Huge.
Well, make sure we're all on the same screen here. Yep. Here we go.
Freaking massive.
Freaking massive.
Huge.
Oh, you can see him in the background, just under the surface.
Freaking massive.
Oh, there's his dorsal. Yeah, let's put the phone down, buddy, before you lose that. So he takes his little kayak camera off the boat, sticks it under the water, right there in front of his face. Look at that. Sticks it on the other side. Oh, yeah. Looks like Jacques Cousteau filming this. He's just chilling. 800, 900 pounds, easily. Easily. Oh, that shadow, that silhouette underneath the water. Yep. No thanks. No, thank you. At that point, that's when you turn on the automatic motor on the kayak that takes you the fuck out of there. Oh, he's close to him. He puts the camera down. He's probably about 5 feet away from him.
He's circling my kayak.
So he's picking the camera up, put it on one side, and as he circles around, puts it on the other side. Yeah, he's a good 5-6 feet away from him, and right at the surface of the water. You can see the sun coming through, cutting through and shining him up there. So that goes on for a little bit longer. There he goes. Great white shark sitting out there fishing. And I thought they used to tag them. I forget what website there was where you can follow all your favorite great white sharks and stuff out there. If you got a favorite out there, I know there's a bunch in Florida, but he didn't look like he had a tag on him, so he might want to contact someone and see if they can get a tag on him, because they're in like an intercoastal area here. He's got land on both sides, so they might want to tag him and follow him as well, or her. Doesn't matter. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you go home. I'm going to let you... All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. Clean out your pants for watching that shark swim up underneath you. We'd like to ask you to follow us, and don't forget to follow us and share us on your Facebook page. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share us, and make sure we'd like to hear from you. Go over to Be Heard. Click on that little microphone, and we'd love to hear from you as well. You can be part of the show and say, hey, that's me. I'm on the podcast. And we'll send you out some free stuff. Just fill out that little form as well, and we'll send you out some magnets and stuff for being part of the show. All right, guys, on that note, I'll let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name's the Deacon, saying good night and good night.
Wait. Come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
I made it. I don't think I hit record on the second segment. That's why I had to go back and pull it from the video. That's what happened. Yeah, because I'm looking at it like it's still in the same spot, and I'm looking at reading all the other stuff. Anyway, you guys don't care about that. All right, guys, thanks. Take care. Bye.